Ryan's and then over to here.
We're live, just letting you know.
So I went home to change into nice clothes to go to Cryans.
You gotta look good. You never know who you're gonna see at Cryans.
That is true, actually. Did you see anybody this time around? It's always crowded down there.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody. Last time I was there, I ran into you and Katie and Brian.
See what I told you?
Hey, Grant, so you're not hungry?
What? Who told you I wasn't hungry?
Oh, I thought maybe you got something to eat down there. Julie's going to come over later, and she has a whole bunch of baked CDs she wants to give everybody.
Oh, all right.
So,
Mr. Cryan called us, and he said, Grant's not hungry.
I want you to know Grant is here, and he is eating, so he will not be hungry later.
I wanted to get here by 6, so I only had time for, a shot and a pint.
Well, then there will be food here later. I'm getting in touch with Julie as soon as the podcast is over.
Is it like some kind of vegetarian ziti?
She didn't say. She just said baked ziti. So probably not. I mean, it's gonna have stuff in it she can't eat anyway because everything makes her sick. So I'm guessing it'll be regular. What?
So Andrew, you getting used to the Plus?
I am getting used to it. I'm starting to get used to it. It's tougher because I was used to the 6, and this is noticeably bigger and heavier and a little bit. I mean, despite how thin it is, it's very tough to hold it, which seems weird. But
so, why did you want to switch? I mean, you must have. I mean, you knew it was going to be bigger.
Yeah. No, I mean, I knew all about it. I had. Earlier that day on Saturday, I was playing around with Katie's phone for some reason and watching a lot of videos and that stupid pug Barry with his Australian owner, and I was
Tell me that sold you.
Well, that's the video we watched.
I love watching this on a bigger screen.
Well, I liked it, and I was like, it's pretty cool. Like it's great, and I don't know. I kind of wanted to have a couple of my pictures weren't coming out too well on the 6, and I've discovered that my hands are a little shaky, and there's a feature in just the 6 Plus that stabilizes images as well. So I figured all that stuff put together, plus the fact that I'm gonna try very, very hard to not upgrade my phone if I can until I need to, because I've been doing it every year like a nutcase, and I didn't need to. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to keep it for a while, and if I'm gonna keep it for a while, I want it to be the best one that's out there. So those are reasons why I did it. But yeah, it's big. Is it too big? Probably. Am I gonna get rid of it? No. Am I gonna deal with it? Yes. Am I gonna like it? I already do. So I mean, it's fine.
Well, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this thing.
Where's Danielle?
She is. Teachers are getting together today at some teacher house to teach each other things. I don't know. Teachers are hanging out together. She's not going to be there too late, though. She might be back for part of the show. All right.
Oh man, a couple of bald men here.
I was going to say, do you mind being on camera?
Line up, ladies. I don't mind. Does the audience mind? That's what I want to know.
No, they don't mind. Trust me. Lots of tweets about how they're happy you've been on shows recently.
Well, not as happy as I've been.
All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 487, the Giratina Podcast. Now, this is one I actually know. This is on the cover of one of the games, I think.
I was going to say, is he related to Girahim at all?
Ooh. Similar
Don't
colors,
talk to me about him.
Is Richard Giratina one of your main men?
Yeah, he is now.
Wait, when cosplayers dress up as sexy Girahim, they're Giratinas.
Oh my God, you're right. Giratina is a dual-type ghost/dragon legendary Pokemon. While it is not known to evolve to or from any other Pokemon, it has a second form activated by giving Giratina Griseous Orb, its original form, altered form, and then become Origin form. Giratina's origin form was officially revealed in early February 2008. In origin form, Giratina is the version mascot of Pokemon Platinum. See, that's why I know it.
Pokemon Platinum. Richard Gere's hair is platinum.
Coincidence? I think not. Nintendo has a rich history of naming characters after musicians and movie stars. So
You could say they have a Richard Gere history.
maybe just Richard history. Along with Dialga and Palkia, it is a member of the creation trio of Sinnoh, representing antimatter. Giratina is a large gray draconic Pokemon with a gold half ring circling the back of its neck. A thick black stripe runs vertically along the front with red horizontal stripes. In its altered form, it has 2 large black ghostly wings with red tips that can resemble claws. These wings can change shape as if it's a liquid or gas. Its 6 legs are thick and clawed.
Yeah.
It's good, right? In its origin form, it takes on a serpentine look with 6 black ghostly streamers on its back with red spikes at the tips. Its legs are reduced to spikes, and 4 additional golden spikes appear near the edge of its tail. While in origin form, the 3 gold half rings can grip objects. It can only be in its origin form when it is home, and its home is the reverse world, or when as we all know, or when holding a Grisius orb. Giratina is able to travel through and control dimensions besides those of time and space. When in its origin form, it is able to pass through dimensions at will. However, it will turn back to its altered form due to the gravity change from Reverse World. Somebody at Pokemon Company Nintendo has to think up this crap. Like, how do they keep this all straight? It does so by emitting a whirlwind from its mouth. 6 straight months of drugs in a room with no windows. It does so by emitting a whirlwind from its mouth, which creates a portal. It also seems to have a connection to reflective objects such as mirrors and pools of water. Reflections embody the concept of the reverse world. Giratina is a highly aggressive and territorial Pokemon protective of its home. Legends claim that Giratina appears in cemeteries and that it supposedly lives in a world on the reverse side. It was said to be banished for violence. Giratina is the only Pokemon that can learn Shadow Force.
Wow.
There you go.
I've been there, man.
It's 487. It's a Ghost/Dragon legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, what's it look like?
It looks crazy.
Looks like this freak. And that freak. You know, different forms.
I'd rather have him chasing me than the wolf,
You
man.
guys scared the hell out of me. How's everybody doing?
Very well. You
It's,
don't believe me?
It's just a guy podcast this time. We have Kirby.
What's up?
We have Doom Michaels.
Cuckoo.
And we have myself. So I have a few extra things to talk about before we get to news. Number 1, Zod Drifter is out. It came out on the 3DS eShop last night, also known as yesterday. It is $10.
Get out of here.
We did the whole. Jesus, I don't know how many installments it was. Somewhere between 13 and 15 Dev Diary installments on GoNintendo, thanks to Jules Watcham at Renegade Kid. So if you're still interested in learning more about how the game came to be, you can actually see what it was like during development. You get a look at graphic development, gameplay, design elements, interview with the composer, footage, all kinds of stuff like that. Issues that popped up during development and how they were tackled, all that good stuff. So those developer diaries began, I guess, back late August. And now the game is finally launched. It made it out in 2014 because, as I said last week, it went through lot check at Nintendo and actually came back clean. It didn't have any issues with it, which means you guys can play it now. So Europe has to wait a little longer, unfortunately, but North America can play now. It's out as of yesterday. We're going to have a review of it, but I wanted to make it clear that I was more deeply involved with this game than I've ever been any other game. So I'm sure some people will see some bias there. I can promise you I will not be biased in the review. I'm hoping that if you've read GoNintendo for a long time, you know that that won't be the case. So I'll have the review, but I'll also have a review from someone else that wasn't involved with the game at all. I played multiple in-development builds, and I also suggested some things for the game, some features and some ideas. So that's my extent of input on the game besides just being there as it was being developed and stuff like that.
So how long is the game? Because I'm only willing to pay $1 per hour.
Well, then I don't think you will be happy with this game. It is a bite-sized Metroid game. If you're going for 100% completion, as in get every power-up and everything, I don't know how long it would take you. Let's put it this way. I've played the game multiple times from start to finish as it was in development. And when I got the final release, I played it start to finish and didn't get everything, but knew exactly where to go and what to do. And it took me just over 2 hours. So I'd say first time through, 3 to 5 maybe, somewhere like that. And that once you know your way around, you could grab stuff a lot quicker. But yeah, I'd say 3 to 5, somewhere like that.
Does your name appear in the credits?
It does. Right. It is in the special thanks section. So obviously you have to play to the end to get that, and I don't want to ruin anything that happens in the game because
I already ruined it. His name appears in the credits, everybody.
And I played versions where bosses weren't put in the game and boss battles were different and stuff like that. So I finally got to see like the ending and everything, and it was more touching than I expected it to be. And I'm not going to say why or how, but
because you touched yourself at the end?
Yes, I did. As soon as I saw my name in the credits. Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. But I don't know. I had more of a reaction from, I guess, the story. There's not, there's a story, a very basic story.
Is there a baby Metroid?
I don't think it's a baby monster. I could be wrong. But the story from the trailers. Guys flying a ship craps out. You're out in the middle of space and you can't use your warp drive anymore. You have to use the signals your ship is getting to visit 4 different planets to collect power-ups that help you find the new warp core for your ship, which will let you travel back home. So that's the story. But there's some little tidbits at the end that I thought it gave it a nice little touch at the end. But I won't say what. So yeah, it's out. You can play it. Like Renegade Kid has been saying from the beginning, it's a bite-sized, portable, focused Metroid game. So it's not a sprawling adventure like you'd get from like Symphony of the Night or something like that. It is aimed at portable players. Pick up and play, visit a planet at will, and quickly run around and do whatever you're going to do. So I really do enjoy it. I like it a lot. I think it's one of the best eShop games out there. And I think it's perfect for people that are looking for a Metroid experience because we don't have many of those recently, especially from Metroid in general. So yeah, it's out. Go play it. It's fun. I think we're gonna do some giveaways.
I'm just gonna say, ouch for Metroid.
I think we're doing some giveaways for free codes. I think that's what Jules said. He could give me some codes and we could do some giveaways. So maybe next week on a podcast or on our Instagram or something like that. I see hello Tasty Ann and Metasov and Inkling and Gory Haim, one of my favorite names.
Nice.
And Matt the Game Freak and Joe Shabadoo and others I can't see. I see Matt the Game Freak's asking if I talked about the interview that I did yet. No, I did not talk about it. I'm going to talk about it right now. So last week I wasn't, or the week before I wasn't allowed to talk about it, but now I can talk about it. The other day, I had the opportunity to do a phone interview with someone I'm sure you're all very familiar with, Koji Kondo, the man that's responsible for all the big famous, well, most of the big famous Nintendo songs from Mario and Zelda and other franchises along the way. His role has changed over the years. I think the last game he was taking on a more traditional role was Ocarina of Time. As far as compositions go, and then after that, he composed songs for games, but took on more of a advisor role to steer a project and guide the newcomers at Nintendo that were doing composing for games. So he still does make songs. He did, I want to say 1 or 2 songs for Smash Brothers Wii U and 3DS.
What exactly is his title then?
His title changes from game to game. So like on Mario Maker, he's going back to more of a traditional role. He's doing a lot of compositions.
Okay.
And he said there's going to be a lot of remix Mario tunes, but new songs as well. It's not just all remix stuff. And then he said on Splatoon, I think he said he's the advisor for Splatoon, so he'll be overseeing what the other composers are doing and maybe providing a song or two for himself. Like Skyward Sword, he oversaw Skyward Sword. I think he only did one song for that, and it's the song. I know he did the song in the beginning with the opening cutscene, with like traditional.
The one with the orchestra.
Yeah, he did that song. But yeah, he oversees and supervises the projects with all Nintendo's composers now because they have multiple composers over there. And I think Nintendo's output in music, and as far as games go, in the last like 10 or 15 years, it's been excellent. So it certainly seems like Mr. Kondo's influences.
They must have an amazing team too, like that. They're all on the same page because it seems pretty seamless for most of their games from what I've seen.
Well, that's what I asked him. I said to him, how is it seeing new composers at Nintendo take songs that you did years ago and like remix them into different things? Like Super Mario 3D World has a whole bunch of Mario remix tunes and stuff like that. And he said, honestly, he said, I feel my job is a million times easier than theirs, because he said they have like an entire history of Mario music. And not only do they make original tunes, but they also have to keep like a certain style or vibe or pay homage to certain songs. And he said, so they have some confines to work within. So he said their job's a lot harder than what I did, because he said, I could do whatever I want, basically.
Yeah, but he earned it. I mean, what did they drop those crappy ass 8-bit sounds on him and we're just like, here, make it work.
Well, I was talking to him about that too. So yeah, this was the day before the Game Awards. I had the opportunity to talk to him on the phone with a translator. We had a 45-minute talk, and honestly, it was probably the best interview I've ever had. It was amazing, because I know he doesn't do interviews often, because apparently he's pretty shy. But he was so
shy guy.
He was so humble and so like receptive and just kind and caring. And
I'm assuming he had like a translator.
Yeah, I had I forget the guy's name. It's terrible. It's like one of the guys who does all the translations for Nintendo, but it's not Bill Trinan. It's they have like Bill Trinan's with Miyamoto, and then there's another guy who does like everybody else. So it was the translator, me, Kondo, and other various Nintendo ninja voices, making sure he wasn't saying anything he wasn't supposed to. So yeah, we talked for 45 minutes, and I have a whole list of stuff that I'm going to tell you guys about from the interview. Like I said, I'm going to put a feature up on the site, but I figured I'd share it with you guys first. It was, oh, hello, Nintendo. It was super interesting.
When do you get to post this?
I can post it whenever I want. I just need the time to write it up, which is why I figured I'd talk about it now on here first and then do something probably this weekend. So the first thing I asked him about was the Dancing with the Stars arrangement, because that was brand new. That had just happened. And if you don't know, Dancing with the Stars, one of the competitors on there, had a performance in the freestyle section that was all based off of Super Mario music. And they had the whole stage outfitted with Mario stuff. And they had a medley that involved like 3 different Mario songs, and the official Twitter account for Nintendo said that Mr. Kondo was the one that arranged that. So I talked to him about seeing that and what he thought of all of it, and he said he thought they really captured the personality of what Mario games are like in that dance. And he said him and Mr. Miyamoto watched it together, and he said basically they were freaking out over it. They're like, look at this is amazing. Look at these crazy American people. So I also
that's what we think about them too.
So I talked to him about the original Mario Brothers theme, because we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, and obviously that song is still popular today. Just recently, that there was a survey that showed that the Super Mario Brothers theme is the most widely recognized piece of music in the entire world right now.
Nice,
especially
like Joe Camel
with with certain age groups. But there's songs that you think like everybody knows, and still more people knew Super Mario Brothers theme than these other songs. So I asked him about that, and he was saying he had no idea that his song that he did a million years ago on the NES with crappy sounds was going to be so important to the character, stick around this long. And he said It's been absolutely breathtaking and surprising to experience that. So I led into talking about all the remixes that are out there, because every day, like, thousands of people do remixes on YouTube with different instruments or voices or whatever. And I was asking him if he watches those, and apparently he watches a lot of them, because I was talking to him about his favorite ones, and he said one that he really loved is, we've posted on the site, it's where a drummer lines up a whole bunch of drums to play the song, the rhythm of the song. I forget what the video is called, but I'll link it in the interview when I have time to find it, but he loves that one. And he also likes all the voice percussion ones, and the acapella ones are some of his favorites.
Like the Smooth McGrooves of the world.
I wanted to ask him if he's seen Smooth McGroove, but I didn't want to make it too specific. Also, I also talked about working with crappy hardware, not crappy, but you know.
Well, I mean, at the time,
at
it probably wasn't considered crappy.
Yeah, but how much has changed from then to now?
Very crappy.
And I was asking, you know, how much he liked the difference between those hardware and how much it affected his music, and he was saying there's positives and negatives for all of it. But he said one of the things that changed now that makes it easier is it's much faster now to create a piece of music than it was back then, because he had to work within, you know, hardware confines and only so much space on a cartridge. And obviously there's still space issues with games today, but you have a lot more space to work with. And now you can just write a piece of music and say, all right, let's play it, and a live band plays it rather than someone having to sit down at a computer and type out all the stuff. But he said those restrictions played a major role in the earlier creations, and there were a variety of sounds available to create music with that relied, and he said a lot of it relied on the imagination of the player. So like he was saying with the original Super Mario Brothers theme, he did what he could and tried to make it enjoyable and memorable, but he was hoping that the imagination of the player would also play into that and help them envision, you know, Mario as the developers saw it. Obviously, their vision wasn't what the game actually looked like. That's just what they could represent at the time. So he was hoping all that played into like a bigger vision of what Mario would look like. And nowadays we have that. Nintendo can show us exactly what they want Mario to look like, which was the Super Mario Brothers movie. There's news on that today, too. Really surprising news. And he said the hard thing about music today is now composers have to be very detail-oriented because they can hear everything because of how great sound quality is now, and how refined game music has become. So a lot of the imagination is gone, and the composer has to take on so many different roles to fulfill what a soundtrack needs. We talked about his first work on Mario and what he thought back then, and he said when he first worked on Mario, he thought it was going to become a big franchise, but he never envisioned a day where he would be able to create music for the game and have it fully orchestrated. He said that was never even anything that was considered, just because they were so far from that point at the time. I mean, there weren't the CDs around or anything like that.
There was like no digital technology at all.
They could, you know, like you've heard voices on the NES and stuff like that. Even if they were good voices, they were still very digitized. And those voices, they took up a lot of space on a cartridge. Who the hell was I talking about? Oh, Mike Penyak was here, and we were talking about Blades of Steel.
Nice.
And he was saying, what does that guy really say? The pass. And I was like, I don't know. I said, I think the last part is pass, but I don't know what the first part.
Definitely pass, but I don't really.
The pass. Maybe it is hit the pass, even though that doesn't make much sense, but that sort of makes sense.
I don't know.
Who can we ask to get the real answer?
Yeah, right. That's Game Trailers does that Pop Fiction series. They should hunt down the people involved with that game and see who the hell did that. They'll meet the guy that did it and they'll be like, you can't understand what it's like.
What are you talking about? I pass on this interview. I pass.
Oh man, now I really want to know that. You know, and it's something we say all the time, and I never stop to think, like, what am I actually saying? So yes, those restrictions were in place back then, and now he can use orchestrated stuff. And he said he's extremely happy to see his music being performed by an orchestra, talking about like the Zelda Symphony and stuff like that. Again, he says he wishes he could be at all of those events, but obviously he can't. But he says seeing that stuff and hearing it and getting to experience some of the shows is a dream come true. And he says while he can't travel the world, he's very happy to see that his music can travel the world and make people happy. I tried to ask him about what bands he's into, but I don't think he wanted to outwardly endorse a specific band or singer just because of, you know, issues that might come up with Nintendo.
It's Taylor Swift.
So I'm very influenced by Taylor Swift. He said he just listens to a very wide range of music to help influence his work, and he says he always has his internet radio station on his computer, just listening to whatever comes up.
Did he say what his favorite station is?
He did not. He didn't say anything about that. He wouldn't say anything specifically music-wise, but he did say, I asked him what if he plays at home, like instruments, or if he's just like burnt out when he gets home from work. He said he doesn't play too much at home. He plays a little piano and stuff like that, but he does like learn about new instruments or different instruments that he hasn't worked with before. And he said lately he's been listening to a lot of Arabic music, and he's been playing a lot of the darbuka, which is some kind of drum. And he said he's really into it lately. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see some of that in a future game. I asked him what was for franchise to work on. And he says the Zelda franchise has a much wider variety of genres than Mario franchise does. And Zelda also requires more research to find the right type of music. So he says there's a ton of work that goes into Zelda games. You know, Mario games, you have, you know, a certain amount of themes that are used a few times in levels, so it's not like every level has a new song. And then there's, you know, little intros and outros and world music and stuff like that. But Zelda, Zelda has music as a core part of its gameplay too. So there's got to be an absolute ton of work that goes into each Zelda game. And I asked him why his role had transitioned over the years. Like we were saying earlier, he used to do more just composition and stuff like that. Now he's advisor or oversees projects. And he says it just happened because they were creating more games and they needed more people to create more music. He couldn't create all the music, so they had to bring in new people. And then those people needed someone on staff to help direct them. And he said, obviously, he was the choice because he was the head honcho for music there.
Ooh,
there it is. There's
cool.
Darbuka. I already talked about the Mario Maker stuff. And I asked him how hard is it to create music for game franchises that have been running for a long time. I mean, we're 30 years with Mario, and he's still involved with making new music. And he says it's tough to come back and create new music for a franchise that's been running for so long. But like I said, he said it's more difficult for the new staff because they have to keep the classic music in mind, and he created that stuff, so it's not as hard for him. And I asked him what he thought about the importance of game music overall, how it plays into the experience. And he said, music should enhance gameplay, and he hopes that Nintendo's people do an excellent job to help enhance the experience for you and help create memories for people. Because I said, I agree with that music really heightens the experience and can help tie together a special moment or a memory in a game from you that'll stick with you forever. And he said he was very happy to feel that I felt this way because that's what they were trying to do. I asked him if he could go back to any soundtrack he's done and remaster it today, what would he like to do? And he said if he could have it his way, he'd like to have himself and two other people at Nintendo. One on, I think he said he'd be on piano, then there'd be a bass player, and then there'd be a drummer. And he would like to go back and handpick Zelda songs from over the franchise's history and give them a jazz makeover. And I was like, oh, I said to the translator, I said, tell him I will pre-order this right now. So he translated it, and he started laughing. He's like, well, you know, I'm not saying we're doing it now, but it's an interesting idea. So it seems like something he wants to work on. But I would be all over that.
Yeah, didn't you do like a version of the Dark World theme that was
jazzy
kind of
style?
jazzy?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of jazz, so I'll take anything jazzy. It sounds like he's really into jazz too. I mean, like Super Mario 3D World soundtrack has a lot of really jazzy songs in it. Well, like I said, he didn't confirm that he's doing that. I just said he's very interested in doing it. And then there's some other tidbits in there that I'll put in the written review and tell you more about the experience. But that's all the big stuff. I want to say thank you again to Nintendo and Mr. Kondo himself for allowing me to do that. It was an amazing opportunity to have 45 minutes with Koji Kondo. Is insane. When I had my interview with Miyamoto, they were giving people 5-minute intervals for interviews. They were shuffling people in and out left and right because obviously a million people want to talk to Miyamoto. So to go from a 5-minute interview with Miyamoto to 45 with Koji Kondo was nuts. So thank you to all the people involved, and obviously thank you to you guys, because if you didn't come to the site, I wouldn't be able to do stuff like that. So I appreciate it, and I will put the written stuff up. I'm aiming for this weekend. We'll see how it goes. But and if you have any questions, you can ask me, and I'll be happy to tell you if he said anything about them. You know, I didn't want to get too much into detail about new projects because I knew he wouldn't be able to talk about them. So I can't tell you exactly like what songs he's doing for Mario Maker or what kind of music they're going for with Splatoon, because that stuff is under wraps for now. But maybe at a later date. All right, let's do some top stories. Analysts say that Nintendo's profits are going to triple this holiday season, and they projected $1 billion worth of amiibo sold in the U.S. alone. At least 8 analysts raised profit estimates or ratings for Nintendo since September, and the 2 most recent analysts called for profit to triple. That would triple to 36.8 billion yen, and Nintendo projected it would sell 3.6 million Wii U consoles this year, and projected to sell 1 billion worth of amiibo in the U.S. alone. So it was all good news from analysts, and we have some excellent news because Nintendo has revealed since NPD numbers came out. November's NPD contained 9 days worth of data for Smash Bros. Wii U and Amiibo, because they both launched on the same day. And Smash Bros. Wii U in the US alone managed to sell 710,000 copies on Wii U in those 9 days, and they said Amiibo sales are roughly the same. So if you take an Amiibo and say it's $13, they should be about $13, and we'll say 700,000 Amiibo if they're roughly the same number. That puts them just shy of $1 billion in revenue, and that's just in 9 days. So it seems like they more than hit their goal and more than hit the projections that analysts are doing. So that's great. So Amiibo are selling like crazy. And you guys know it's been crazy trying to track Amiibo sales and what's discontinued and what isn't discontinued and when the next waves come out and staggered releases and all that stuff. So Amiibo are going to be hard to find, and if you are lucky enough to find a defective Amiibo, get that sucker on eBay. I know you might want to keep it.
Pretty sure everyone's just looking for like the one with
right?
the horrible mistakes.
Because people are making some sweet bank on eBay with that stuff.
Yeah, I just saw the Marth with the 2 swords.
Yep. The Peach with no legs.
I saw that too.
Sold for
25,000.
I think, yeah, it was some insane amount. There's a the Villager Amiibo with backwards arms that was bringing in big amount. Last I saw for that one was $900.
So message to Nintendo: please keep making mistakes,
but not a lot of them, but enough
just enough to.
And send the rejects to my place.
Yeah, right. G-Man Star says this pleases stockholders' nipples. It does. I would agree with that.
This pleases my missing legs.
So
I should get my nipples some stock.
As I said, there's been so many different messages from Nintendo this week about Amiibo and whether certain Amiibo are discontinued or just being restocked or won't be restocked or only had an initial shipment. So I don't know, honestly, what the truth is, because we've had so many different responses and there are responses from different people and branches at Nintendo. So I don't know what to tell you guys. So I'm not going to read this top story because the discussion has changed so much since then. What it sounds like to me is some Amiibo are going to get stock replenishments, and those are the more popular ones, like Mario and Link. They will get replenished. Then there'll be other ones that are only going to receive their initial shipment, and then that'll be it, like Villager, Wii Fit Trainer, Marth, stuff like that. So when they launch, if you want one of these specific Amiibo, pre-order or be there day one at launch at a retailer that's going to have them. Otherwise, it sounds like you're going to miss out on them.
Is there a Tingle one?
There is not a Tingle one because Tingle's not playable in anything.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe if Tingle has another playable game, which he never will.
Oh.
Well, he had the 2 playable games on DS. One of them came out in Europe. None of them came out here. So because we hate Tingle, and Koji Kondo is the inspiration for Tingle.
What?
Yeah.
I guess he does look like him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wait, does he actually have that suit?
Oh, that's a good. Well, I know that
Why
suit
did you
exists.
ask him that?
Oh man. Does he say kulimpa when he's like leaving or saying hello?
When he goes home after work, does he just like close the blinds and put that suit on and prance around?
These
I'd
are
like to
questions
imagine
we
that
need
is the
to
case.
know.
Well, if I get another chance to interview him, I'll be sure to waste his time with
Wow.
those questions.
Why didn't I see that before? It's so obvious. So, I mean, was he upset about that?
I've never heard that he was upset. No, I'm sure he's a little saddened to hear that the character he is
Like,
based off.
so
Earth.
many great characters, and they're like, "We're gonna make you look like Tingle,
Yeah, right.
or Tingle look like you." Wait, who came first?
Oh, that's a very good question.
That's another good question.
Maybe like Tingle's like the son he keeps locked up in the basement.
Tingle Kondo.
He plays little songs for him and he dances for food. All right, the 15th dev dying for Zod Drifter. That's
Who
that's
cares?
the
It's
number.
out already.
It's out. So you can enjoy a new trailer, the Excite trailer, to get you pumped up for the game, which is already out. All right, Europe, this week's digital downloads. What did Europe get? They got Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. They got Hello Kitty Happy Happy Family. Play with Kitty and her entire family. Learn while having fun with 25 entertaining workshops. Collect hundreds of images and disguises for Kitty and Mimi. I don't know who Mimi is, but I like it.
All I know is that she's not really a cat.
My Life on a Farm 3D is available. Your life on a farm. Live it now in fantastic 3D. Life on a farm is a lot of fun, as there is always something exciting to do. Care for your animals, cultivate your fields with the tractor, or sell self-made products in your own farm shop.
Are there escaped lab rats living in the rose bush on the farm? Because if there are, I'm in.
That would be fun, but I don't think so.
Darn.
So maybe since that's no fun, I can entice you with the free demos of I Love My Little Boy and I Love My Little Girl.
Wait a minute. How do they know what I'm doing at home?
Look after your baby however you want. Feed, dress, bathe, and play with your little angel.
Wow,
That's what it says.
That's bizarre.
Right? Battle Miner is available. It's an open world block game set in a world where giant mutant ants have taken over. Your mission is to rescue the survivors
Hell,
that
ants.
are hostage to the ants. Blah, 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 blah.
I, for one, welcome our insect overlords.
Faerun is available. It's a retro-style puzzle ARPG. A girl has been chosen to become a heroine. An adventure filled with mystery waits. During her adventure, she'll need to find weapons to defeat monsters and to level up. She also needs to collect items, find secret passages, and solve puzzles. Once she has unlocked 3 ancient statues, she has to seal a mysterious menace away forever. I've heard that this game is good. Can somebody back that up? Joe Shabbat, I just saw it. He said, I love my boy.
So wait,
Where's my boy?
my boy? Wait, we're calling them ARPGs
That's what this is called.
as opposed to Western RPGs.
No, I think it's like action RPG. I think that's
Okay. For some reason, I thought you meant like American RPG
No.
or something.
because this is made by Japanese people. My
South
First
America.
Songs 2 is available. Pyramids 2 is available. Rune Factory 4 is finally seen release over there. That is a digital-only eShop release. Persona Q Shadow Labyrinth has 3 new pieces of DLC. You can get the navigation DLC for Theodore, for Elizabeth, or for Margaret. Animal Crossing New Leaf KK Slider at Club LOL. That's a theme for your 3DS.
Man, that KK Slider, if he wasn't in that game, I tell you. Am I right?
Yes. There's also green and blue Mario character camouflage themes for your 3DS, and also a basic yellow and white polka dot theme for your 3DS. There are tons of special offers, which you can read on your own time. Wii U eShop got Zen Pinball 2, the South Park Pinball Table, and other tables, I believe, as well. Yeah, there's the Core Collection, the Venom Table, as in Spider-Man and Venom. So there's new tables for Zen Pinball 2. Tested with Robots is available, which looks like crap. Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire is available on the Wii U Virtual Console, and I believe Nintendo is playing that right now. and lots of other special offers. So it was a big week, and there's a lot of sales too. I just don't know if it's a big week of quality content. There are definitely some good games in there.
So you.
Let's see if that's what somebody says. First comment comes from Casey44, and he says, "Yay, Ace Attorney collection. This pleases my nip objection." Yeah, if you missed out on the Ace Attorney series when it first started, you can get the first 3 games optimized for 3DS now for the price of 1. We're not going to read that. Nintendo's doing 3DS firmware updates like crazy lately. So there's a new firmware update. It adds shuffle features. This has been added under Change Theme in the home menu settings. Users can choose multiple themes and have their theme change when a system is left in sleep mode. So you can wake up your system to a new theme, or to a random theme, I should say. Available software updates can now be downloaded from the home menu. That's a big one. Now you don't have to go to the eShop to specifically hunt down a patch for a game. Now the patches for the games are available on the home menu, which is great. Users can now capture screenshots with both the upper and lower screens included. So if you want a screenshot of both screens, you can do that now. And then the usual improvements to system stability and usability, which is a part of every firmware update. So it was a big firmware update for 3DS. I had a couple of things that are really important and people have been asking for. T27 Duck says, "Oh my God, my system is so effing stable." And after all these firmware updates with stability, yeah, it's got to be the most stable system out there. Nintendo says the Wii U GameCube, or Nintendo of Europe, says the Wii U GameCube controller adapter is not discontinued. It's been very hard to find. People that are playing Smash Bros. Wii U want it because they want to play with their GameCube controllers. Nintendo Europe has this to say: "We would like to reassure you that the GameCube controller adapter for Wii U has not been discontinued by Nintendo of Europe, and we are doing everything possible to meet the demand, which is currently outstripping supply. We are unable to comment specifically on the individual retailer stock levels, and as such, we ask customers to contact their local retailers directly regarding their availability of this product. We would, however, like to reassure you that we are working hard to ensure that additional stock can be made available and delivered to retailers." So they're saying more is coming, but that's Nintendo of Europe.
So there are actually people like calling up Nintendo and asking like, why doesn't Walmart have more GameCube controllers?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
And also sending customer service those emails and stuff like that. So. Josh B 1983 says, "Rest assured, they are not discontinued. We're just not making any more." They're out there, and remember, you can always go on eBay and
pay
Amazon and pay millions of dollars for them. Yeah,
for a regular GameCube controller.
No, it's an adapter for the Wii U that lets you plug in GameCube controllers so you can play Smash with it.
Good thing you got yours early.
I know. Maybe I should sell it. Make a pretty penny.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I like it too much. Nintendo was goddamn ad. I gotta clear the cache on this thing. Yeah, that Lego ad should be gone from the site on mobile. By the way, if you clear your cache, it should be gone, which I have to do on here.
People complaining about the Lego ad?
Yeah, I was complaining. He complained about it. No. I complained about it when I saw it on mobile because it was only coming up on mobile and it wouldn't stop. So I emailed the ad guys and said, or I emailed my rep for the ad guys and said, this should not be here. This has to go. So I was checking on my phone.
It's Harry Potter.
And it, yeah, it's Lego Minecraft. I checked on my phone today and it wasn't there, so it should be gone. So if you're still getting it, clear your cache. And if you're still getting it, try going to GoNintendo.com/M, and I guarantee you won't get it. Oh yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, okay.
GoNintendo.com/M. It's a mobile format. It's
nice. I'll take it. To the bank.
Nintendo won't tell us what's in Captain Toad's backpack, no matter how many people ask.
It's because they don't know either.
It's important. Well, in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, they say the reason Captain Toad can't jump is because his backpack is too heavy.
Oh, okay. Then I can see.
Some people are like, well, what's in the bag? Nintendo's Koichi Hayashida and Shinya Hiratake were asked about this. And Hiratake said, I wonder. I'm curious about this too, so let's have a look. Some coins, a banana, a dumbbell, a pillow. I'm just kidding. I think we'll keep the contents of Captain Toad's backpack the biggest secret of this game. So there you go. They're not going to tell you. And they say they would love to work with Toad and Toadette again in another adventure all their own.
I love it, like they're real people, you know.
Yes,
I'd love to
work with them, but we'll have to see if they're available.
We'll have to contact their people.
Master Monster says, while I'd love to see a sequel to Captain Toad, I'd also love to see the next game use another character and franchise. Imagine a Zelda game like this, in the style of the first Zelda, but in glorious 3D, where you use the items from Zelda 1, candles to burn away bushes, the ladder to get over pits and such. Hell, have a Bokoblin stand in the way, saying grumble, grumble, until you find a bone in the leaven to bring him. So you want a remake of the original Zelda in 3D.
Except in this one, Link will have a backpack.
And
Very
you won't
heavy
know what,
backpack.
you won't know what's in it. And Captain Toad is in it. Yeah. Mr. Kondo also did an interview with IGN, and he discussed some musical secrets of his various games. So I'm not going to read them all, but I will read 3 of them. You guys tell me what you want to hear. So he's going to discuss a little secret from these games as far as music goes. I hate you. He said your choices are Super Mario 3D World, Wind Waker, Star Fox 64, Yoshi's Island, Pilot Wings, Super Mario Brothers, and Punch-Out.
Oh, boy.
I'd like to hear the Wind Waker one.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
me
says, I wasn't the sound director on Wind Waker. That was done by some of my other staff members. But I can say that
it was
out
a
of
trick
all the
question.
games that I was not the sound director on, Wind Waker is my favorite. So he has a special place in his heart for Wind Waker.
Well, I don't blame him. Music is good.
Kirby, do you have a choice?
Okay. The Yoshi's Island. That's the original.
Yes.
Okay.
He says about Yoshi's Island, I think a lot of the rhythm and instrumentation in Yoshi's Island was influenced by the African music I was studying at that time. And I'm going to do Pilot Wings just because.
This is the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
Okay.
He says that was another one where almost all the music and sound effects were done by other members of the staff. That was one of my first forays into being a sound director. I remember creating just one piece of music for that to give the other staffers a sense of direction we wanted for that title. It was a way to lay the groundwork for them to go through and score the rest of the game. And he said the song he did was the helicopter song. So you can learn more about Super Mario 3D World, Star Fox 64.
Actually, I should have asked about Star Fox 64.
I'll tell you.
All right.
He says for Star Fox 64, he was influenced by a specific TV show,
Buck Rogers.
Thunderbirds.
Ooh.
As
He
in
said-
Thunderbirds are go.
Yes, he said he was very inspired by them, and he picked up some pretty good tidbits from that music. So his inspiration was from Thunderbirds.
Uncle Ross. Wait, that's not the one, right?
Yeah, that was the right game.
All right.
Uncle Ian.
I failed you.
Emperor.
Don't get too cocky.
Bellboy says Thunderbirds are Star Fox. Why does that make so much sense?
Huh? What?
That drum rhythm. The Thunderbirds TV show intro for those who never grew up, and he links to it so you can watch the intro, and he says, oh my God, these are one and the same. Yeah, I believe Miyamoto said he was inspired by Thunderbirds when creating Star Fox, so to hear that some of the music is inspired by that same franchise is not too surprising. But yeah, there's other ones in there too, other games that I didn't mention. I'm not doing any of this amiibo stuff. Sakurai talked about a whole bunch of Smash Brothers stuff. He said the original Duck Hunt is quite a major game, and that's quite an important game in Nintendo's history. That's why it was represented in Smash Brothers. And he said reviving the setting and the fun of the game is one of the reasons Duck Hunt was brought back to Smash Brothers. It's very important. Blah blah blah. Duck Hunt is something that hasn't been seen before. Has something in Smash Brothers that hasn't been seen before. As in, there is a third person who aids the player when attacking. So he's saying there's the duck and the dog, and then one of the attacks that they do is like the flash from the gun shooting. So he's saying that's actually the player shooting the gun at the dog and the duck. He said the original idea for 8-player in Smash Brothers was in part of Melee's design document, but he said it was just impossible to get it running in that game. And he said they barely achieved it in Smash Brothers Wii U because he said they still had to make some limitations, like you can't play on every stage because of the amount of people. And some of the stage gimmicks are changed, such as bosses and stuff like that are taken out just because there's so much action going on already. But they got it in there. So he's wanted to do that for a while. And he says making figurines for Smash Brothers is something that has been considered for a long time as well. And he said the original idea for creating Amiibo was discussed with Nintendo in February. And after this, the implementation of those into Smash Brothers, the production of the Amiibo began. Says the big exclusive features for each version of Smash Brothers, so that would be Smash Run on 3DS and Smash Tour on Wii U. Those were decided at the beginning of the game's development, and game options depend on the hardware's performance. And those were changed during development. So obviously they saw the 3DS couldn't do some things that the Wii U could, so that led to some modes that appear in one version and don't appear in the other. And he says, for now, only the distribution of Mewtwo is decided. Other than that is undecided. So he's not talking about future DLC yet. He's not shooting it down either. He's just saying right now we're doing Mewtwo, and that's all we're working on. And he said the production of Mewtwo has just started, so it's going to be a bit until Mewtwo comes out. Or did they say March or something like that? I don't remember. It says it takes a long time to do a new character, although Mewtwo isn't new. King Broly says, Ridley DLC, Sakurai, do it. Yeah, people want to play as Ridley. It's true. What is this? We're on through that. North America, this week's digital downloads. We got Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. We got Harvest Moon 3 on the Game Boy Color. That's for the 3DS Virtual Console. We got on the Wii U Virtual Console, Crashing the Boys Street Challenge. Nice. Take control of one of 4 high school teams, all with different characters to play as you make your way through 5 wild sporting events. Power through the 400-meter hurdles, hammer throw, swimming, rooftop jumping, and judo. Can you lead your high school to the top of the street challenge?
Boy!
Special deals on Another World 20th Anniversary Edition, one of my favorite games of all time. It's more than 50% off right now. That's on the 3DS and the Wii U, starting, let's say, the 11th? Starting
12th.
Oh, it is 12th, starting today.
Wait, is this out of this world?
Yes.
Okay.
As we know it, out of this world, but I guess the rest of the world was Another World, so now they're just going with Another World.
Whatever. It means they're wrong.
Yep. How to Train Your Dragon 2, Planes, Fire and Rescue, and many other titles from Little Orbit are on sale until January 14th. Shut the Box, Block Drop U, and other games from RC Madix are available on sale until January 7th. Whoa Dave is more than 70% off. It was $5. It is now $1 until December 15th, or until January 2nd. Rage of the Gladiator, Monster Shooter, and other games from Game Line are available on sale until January 8th. Steel Empire got a 40% price drop, which is a big deal because the game was $30 and now it's $16. That's available until January 15th. Darts Up 3D and Soccer Up 3D are available on sale. Also new this week, Lucadian Chronicles, which is a card game for the Wii U. Angry Birds Star Wars and Angry Birds Trilogy on the Wii U and the 3DS are available, so digital versions. They've been at retail for a while. Hazumi is available. We also got I Love My Little Boy, I Love My Little Girl. I can't
believe that's for real.
And I Love My Horse. There's a demo version for I Love My Horse. I Love My Little Boy and I Love My Little Girl have the full end demo versions.
I love my dead gay horse.
Moshi Monsters Katsuma Unleashed is available. Moshi Monsters Moshling Theme Park is available. My First Songs 2. Transformers Dark of the Moon Stealth Force Edition is available. Talking Phrasebook 7 languages is available. And Wipeout 2 is available. And obviously, Zod Drifter is available.
I'm guessing Talking Phrasebook is not based on the popular TV show Frasier.
I don't think
that
so.
That would be
Talking
awesome.
Phrasebook.
You like press
all
a
your
button
and all your favorite quotes from the show.
Oh, come on, Niles.
The Shayzilla says that's not Donkey Kong Country. When will we get these games on the Wii U VC? Yeah, I don't know why we aren't getting them. I would like to play Donkey Kong Country again, and I would get it on the Wii U VC, but it's not available here yet. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire sell nearly 1.5 million combined units in first 10 days, and the Wii U has had its best sales week since launch, so it was a very good November for Nintendo. 1.5 million combined physical and digital units in the U.S. alone for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so that's great news. Smash Bros. 3DS is the best-selling individual portable game in the U.S. so far in all of 2014. Smash Bros. For the 3DS has sold more than 1.5 million physical and digital units in the U.S. since it launched. Wii U hardware and software increased by 10% for hardware and 90% for software over the same period last year. The week of November 23rd was the biggest single week of Wii U hardware sales since the system launched in 2012. Smash Bros. Wii U sold nearly 710,000 combined units, physical and digital. That's since its launch, so 9 days worth of data. They say amiibo sold roughly the same, so somewhere around 700,000, which is great. The top-selling amiibo Link, Mario, and Pikachu in that order. So Link is the most popular. And then they talk about how Captain Toad is now available recently. NES Remix Pack is available as well, which is NES Remix and NES Remix 2 in one package. And then they talk about the games coming in early 2015, and it's big names. Splatoon, an original IP from Nintendo. Yoshi's Woolly World is going to be early in 2015. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is going to be early in 2015. And Codename Steam, the Abraham Lincoln game, is early 2015. That's true. So
that's what its subtitle is.
No, just Codename Steam, but Abraham Lincoln's in it. So a good early start to 2015 for Nintendo. Big name titles coming out. Should be one a month, something like that. Wii U sold 10% more than November 2013. That's nice, but we don't know how much the numbers from Nintendo or from November 2013 are. We do. I posted it. Let me tell you. Roughly 245,000. No, that's not right. Just that week. You're right. We don't know that week. We know the month. We don't know the week. Top 10 NPD. It's time. We haven't played NPD with you in a long time. This is November 2014 top 10 software sales. What were the top 10 games of November 2014?
Wait, I remember this being the worst part, right?
It's my favorite part.
It's his favorite part, but it's the worst part.
Why do you like it so much?
Because it's like a little game. You get to
well,
guess.
You
what
have the answers. It's not a game.
Well, I can't ever play because I have to post it on the site.
Okay, wait.
No Chuck Woolery.
Is Assassin's Creed Unity on there?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 9.
Wait, we've got to guess 10 games, any 10. Smash Brothers.
10 games that were in the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you already know Smash Brothers was in there. If
Were
you're
both
listening,
of them on there?
Yes.
What number is Smash Brothers?
3.
So there's 7 left.
Now remember, that's with just 9 days worth of data.
Destiny?
Destiny, no.
GTA 5?
GTA 5,
Oh,
the PS4 and Xbox One version,
Yes.
helped secure the number 2 spot. So a lot of people bought that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is there another Madden game?
Yes, Madden. Madden
Come
NFL 15. All right, so you have
All
number
right.
2, number 3, and number 4. You don't have 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 9. You don't have 10.
So
Now,
we
if
need
you were
5
listening
more.
to the other story I just said, you would know 2 of these entries.
Son of a gun. Were you listening?
The
Me
other
either.
story.
The story I just did.
Let's see what they're saying in here. African American Jim.
No.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Coy. I'm just kidding. I like the name.
Come on, I just said it.
I know, but you say all kinds of stuff.
It was a big Nintendo release.
Okay.
Long-running franchise.
Ooh,
Right.
ooh.
Always releases in 2.
Hmm.
Oh,
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Pokemon Alpha Sapphire came in at number 5, and Pokemon Omega Ruby
Sapphire.
came in at number 7, so that's 2 down. All right, so you don't have number 1.
What
You
could
have
be
2,
number
you have
1?
3, you
I
have
mean, that
4,
should
you
be
have 5.
easy.
You don't
right?
have number 6, you don't have number 8, and you don't have 10, so you're missing 4 of them.
Hmm.
How many of them are Nintendo or on a Nintendo system?
We are done with Nintendo.
So,
Hey, let's still go.
I'm trying to think of like PlayStation 4 games that I played. Probably none of them are going to be on there.
Oh, wait. Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, bro, number 1.
Modern
Yeah, of
Warfare
course,
is always
bro.
number
Call of
1.
Duty Advanced Warfare.
That's
The
right.
Kevin Spacey vehicle. That is number 1. All right, you got number 1 now. You're missing number 6, long-running franchise.
Mhm.
New installment available on current gen and last gen systems. So
Okay.
PS4, Xbox One, PS3, Xbox 360, PC.
Mhm.
I play them. You guys definitely know them. The new one has a special feature on PS4 to let you play with 10 friends for free.
I don't have any friends. Oh, wait. You were just talking about this.
Yes.
He was talking about it. He wants me to play it with him.
Yeah.
And I want to. I just don't remember the name. It's something
10 friends.
that you said that we could-
Minecraft? No. Diablo?
That's a good
No.
guess, though, Minecraft.
It's
Hey,
from Ubisoft.
son of a gun. Ubisoft.
Yeah.
This is
Far
embarrassing.
Cry 4?
Far Cry 4.
Very nice.
There you go.
First
That is
place.
number 6. Number 8 is a sports game. I'll just tell you that.
Is it the football?
You already did
Football
football.
isn't soccer?
No, it's not soccer.
I mean, is baseball a popular sport game?
It is, but it is not. I don't think they release baseball games now because there's no baseball going on.
It's not hockey.
It's not hockey.
It's not what do people play?
There would be one other major sport, I think.
Basketball.
It is basketball. NBA 2K15.
Boring. Sport.
Okay, number
Yeah.
10
What
is
the
it's another long-running franchise.
They're all
Do you kill a ton of people in a battlefield type setting?
Not people, but
Halo.
yes, Halo.
Master Chef
The
Collection.
Master Chef Collection
So
is
how
number
many
10.
of those are remakes of old games or re-releases?
Remakes. Grand Theft Auto 5. Are we considering Madden remake?
I mean, I would put that in the I didn't even try category.
Madden, Pokemon Alpha, Sapphire, and Omega Ruby.
All right.
NBA 2K15. Halo. So 6 of them.
So there you go. Squaresoft, Final Fantasy VII remake. What are they
Well,
not?
that's at the time, yeah.
What are they now?
Square Enix.
What?
Because they bought.
Never
They've been
heard
that
of
for a
them.
long time
I'm just
now.
kidding. That's what I see when I boot up my PlayStation 1.
There are no new franchises or new games on this list, as in not part of an established franchise. And Minecraft, this is the first time we haven't seen Minecraft in the top 10 for a long time. But I'm sure it's up there. So there's your top 10. And like I said, it was a very good month for Nintendo. An excellent month. XC Warrior says, Smash Wii U and 3DS sales were combined, yet it's still only number 3 to Bass Fishing and a remake.
Wait, bass fishing is on there?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Bass fishing?
Some joke I don't get. And yet Pokemon gets 2 different entries. I guess people like the beginning of the world Alpha more than the end Omega. Yeah, I don't understand why Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire are 2 entries on this list. Yet Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS are combined. And the funny thing is, both games sold about the same thing, but when you split the games up. And Wii U 245,000 for holiday season is not nearly good enough for a true rebound. Now remember, you're not factoring in the numbers correctly. Yet people bought X-Boners and PS4s in droves to play remakes.
Phew.
Oh, yeah.
Thank gosh she didn't make fun of the PS4.
Yeah, just X-Boners, but PS4 retained its name. But hey, in the end, we're all having fun. That's
How
what
about the
matters.
PS4?
Oh, there you go,
Ends with
PS4.
Wait, what did he end with? I was
He
talking.
said we're all having fun in the end, so that's what
He's like,
matters.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
well,
A rare
Having
moment
fun
of
with
clarity
our-
from someone on the
X-Boners.
internet.
Sounds like something I would never admit.
We already talked about Amiibo. We told you Link Mario Pikachu. Another system update for the 3DS. 2 in 1 week. Bless you.
Thank you.
This one is just for stability, so we're not going to go into detail on that. Here is a rumor from BuzzFeed, which I would say is
Oh, great.
pretty much confirmed because of all the Sony leaked emails that have been going on lately.
Confirmed. It's hard to be a short girl and have to climb on shelves.
This is an actual, interesting news story that isn't a list about something.
Oh, really? And it's on BuzzFeed?
Apparently, Sony and Nintendo
What?
have made a deal for an animated Super Mario Brothers feature film.
Huh?
So Sony Pictures
Right.
and Nintendo.
Wow.
The producer is Avi Arad, which is someone I know a lot about because he does a lot of stuff. He's involved with a lot of movies.
Who's directing?
They haven't said yet,
Who's the voice of Mario?
but I will tell you who they want. So this was a string of emails between Avi and a whole bunch of other people at Sony saying the deal is done. He had a picture of himself with Miyamoto and Iwata. Like, deal's done. They're saying it's going. We're doing it.
It's shopped.
An animated movie. They are trying to get Mr. Tartakovsky.
As in Gendy Tartakovsky?
Yeah. As in Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack,
And
Star Wars, Clone
Powerpuff
Wars,
Girls.
Powerpuff Girls.
All right.
They say it's so perfect for him. I could see that working out. And he also did.
Oh,
I'm guessing it's going to be a CG movie. He did.
that Titan thing.
Titan 8.
Not that. I'm thinking of.
You know what I mean.
Hotel
Attack on
Transylvania. He did Hotel
Oh,
Transylvania,
did he?
which I heard was actually really good, but nobody saw it.
Well, yeah, Adam Sandler was in it.
Wait, what?
You know,
He did a voice in that?
I tried watching it, and
He looked like that one vampire. Yeah,
you know how I feel about like I liked Kung Fu Panda and all that crap.
that's
like,
fine.
but
Oh, you saw the sequel?
I did not see the sequel.
No, I thought you said you did.
If I did, I
Don't bring this
I
up.
was joking.
Oh.
I've only seen the first one. I don't think I'm going to see the second one. And
Oh.
I have no desire. But I tried watching that Hotel Transylvania. Wasn't into it. But I have a respected friend who's into animation, and he liked it. So take
Who?
that for what it was. Just a kid I work with.
I don't know. I want to give it a shot because I heard good things about it. Is it on Netflix? Is it streaming anywhere?
I'm not sure.
Because I don't want to pay for it, but if it's free, I'll watch it.
I'm not sure.
Blade Master says, "Wait, what?"
Nice.
Yeah, sounds like obviously Nintendo and Sony haven't
Wait,
commented on this.
What was the name of that show though that I'm trying to think of? That was on Cartoon Network and it had the word Titan in it somewhere.
What was it like the truck that turned into a
No, but there was like
Titan Maximum?
no, but there was a giant robot.
Titan, I
You
think I know what
know.
you. Yeah, it was.
And you like
Yeah, I did
you
like
found
it
out about it like after it was canceled.
Yeah. No. Oh man! Somebody in the IRC, can you help us out? It was on Cartoon Network. Titan was in it.
Yeah.
Titan Maximum and AE are the only animated things I can think of.
You know, I'll just.
What was Titan Maximum? The Seth Green thing? What the hell was that?
Oh
claymation
yeah, I
thing?
think it was. Yeah, I think yeah, that was terrible.
There you go.
But more importantly, is Charles Martinet going to be the voice?
Funny you say that. I was having this conversation with Mom Brain today. Symbionic Titan,
Thank you.
says Mr. Coy. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, I found out about that show after it was canceled. I was like, oh, I like this show. And then I went online to read about it. And I was like, oh, crap.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. What was that other show? It was amazing. It was on Disney. And it's like a mix of hand-drawn animation and computer stuff. And it was like a real like metal futuristic city where they all drove awesome cars.
I know the one you're talking about.
Oh my god, it was so cool. It was like the coolest looking show I had ever seen. And that's another one that was canceled. I literally watched it at the week after it was canceled. And I was like, oh.
Yep. You're the problem.
Because I know I set up my DVR to record it and it was like, can't do this. I was like, why can't I do this? And I went online. I was like, no, damn it. But it was good. Last story. Phoenix Wright almost wasn't named Phoenix Wright.
You never answered my
Oh,
question.
I'm sorry. Oh, Charles Martinet. I was talking about it with Mom Brain. I think if there's going to be a movie, I don't think they're going to have him as the voice. I think they'll have somebody famous do it.
Oh, yeah,
Bob
probably.
Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
I think Bob Hoskins still did.
Still?
And he famously said that was his worst movie role ever. So I don't think he would come back for this.
Well, you never know. For the right price. Dig up his old bones. Just kidding.
Who would you pick to do the voice of Mario?
Man, that's a tough
I
one.
mean, does it have to be somebody Italian? Nah.
I don't think so.
Screw that.
No, let's make him Irish.
I would say, I
Let's get
liked
Cillian Murphy.
Mario O'Brothers.
I liked. I'm thinking Liam Neeson.
What?
We have to stop that Bowser.
But you know what? I was very impressed. Like I said,
Let's go.
Nice.
So long, Gay Bowser.
Actually, that might. You know what? Liam Neeson.
It's a me.
Thank you so much for playing my game. Man, that would be. So is he going to be Luigi too?
Yeah, why don't we just get Strong Bad to do it?
Yeah, that's really good.
Good gods. All right, Phoenix Wright. His name wasn't originally Phoenix Wright. They were going with other things. Because the game is filled with
Santa Fe wrong. Swish.
That's great.
We've narrowed it down to
Moldy
2.
Clay, draw the picture for this week has to be a picture of Santa Fe wrong.
Santa Fe wrong.
So the Phoenix Wright games are full of like jokes and word puns and wordplay and stuff like that. So the guy that was doing the translation said Roger Wright would be the perfect name because there's all kinds of jokes you could do based off of Roger. And then Capcom said they didn't want Roger because they thought Roger would remind people of Roger Rabbit. I don't know why all these years. I mean, I know it came out on the GBA, so it was closer to Roger Rabbit, but still far out from when that movie released.
I mean, there's lots of other famous Rogers.
I know.
That rabbit ruined that name for everyone.
So they thought Roger Wright sounded like too much like Roger Rabbit, so they said no. So other names that were considered were Pierce, which I could see how the puns could be there. Xavier.
Renegade Angel.
Marcus. And Zane.
Billy Zane, right?
Billy Zane Wright.
But
then they chose Phoenix Wright. Because they liked Phoenix because of what it represents and all that crap, you know. So we almost had Roger Wright. Santa Fe Roll. That should be his opponent in the next game. The new game's coming out, where he teams up with Sherlock Holmes. Elf Tarot says, I like that Phoenix also referenced the fact that he is always at his best at the end, after he have been near the end in a handful of time. And it's exactly how, didn't he not? That's exactly how it's written. True after he have been near the end and handful of time. Rising from the ashes of near defeat like a phoenix. But maybe I'm the only one seeing this. No, I completely agree. You're right. You may have not worded it correctly, but I get what you're saying. We've all made typing mistakes. Mystico is suggesting Daniel Day-Lewis for Mario.
Oh, wow.
That would be great. Can you imagine? Because you know how he gets into his roles and he has to like be that character.
So
Can you
be
imagine?
like living in a pipe for like weeks.
That would be great.
He's also suggesting Danny DeVito.
All right.
Those are two great choices. If it was a live action movie, Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah.
Voicing Daniel Day-Lewis.
Or yeah, wait. Didn't R-Type like have a dream one time where Danny DeVito played Wario?
I believe so. God, that would be so amazing.
Oh, God.
If only. Well, it seems like Nintendo's letting their babies go a little bit more. I mean, they held on to Mario's rights for TV and movies so long after the original Mario Brothers movie because they didn't want another disaster. So, I mean, I think an animated movie is more the way to go with the Mario movie, especially with how big computer-generated movies are nowadays. So, keep your fingers crossed. It could work out really nicely, and I think they'll treat it with a lot of respect because Nintendo's going to be so on top of them with this, where they weren't with the first movie. Let's talk about what we played. We don't do that yet. Kirby, you play anything?
Yeah, actually, I downloaded Peggle Blast on my phone.
Oh yeah,
and
it's nice on a big screen. You gotta get it. Have you played Peggle?
I haven't.
It's free. It's pegs, and you have a ball.
Yeah, it's like
you shoot
Plinko,
the ball.
right?
It's like Plinko, yeah. Except you have to clear all the orange pegs. That's the main thing you have to do at every level. There's other side stuff, but.
And yeah, it's funny. I'm pretty sure I haven't played Peggle since
Peggle.
Since like 2008 when I was playing it on like my iPod while I was on vacation. So yeah, it's been nice to return to it.
It's fun
with this happy unicorn on it.
You got it.
That's Bjorn the unicorn. And
yeah,
apparently now he has like an evil twin,
yeah,
but I forget his name.
That guy's a real asshole, man. The things he does in different levels makes me so annoyed. Yeah, the characters have gotten a bit of a makeover. Some returning characters, some new characters. Not that the characters are super important, but they add to the charm.
Yeah, sure.
So it's Peggle made for the free-to-play generation.
Exactly.
So it's fine.
I mean, yeah. Wait, I'm trying to remember like if I paid for it at all. Like when it was like the first time around.
I believe at some point in time they had it available for free, but this was before any of that free-to-play stuff existed, so it was just like free.
Oh, okay.
I think they had a promotion
like
at some point.
Free.
Yeah, they had a promotion at some point because they were celebrating like a certain amount of sales of Peggle, and they said as a thanks they were going to give it away for a certain amount of time for free. Yeah. Or if you had another PopCap game, you got it for free, something like that.
Okay.
But yes, now everybody does free to play, so it is free to play, which makes a lot of people angry, but whatever. I'm sure at some point it's going to ask me to go on Facebook and harass people, but if I know you guys are playing, I don't have to go on Facebook. I can just ask you to. You playing anything else?
Yeah, actually, I also played the 20th anniversary version of Gabriel Knight. I bought that.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I own a version. I own like the original version, but yeah, I figured I'd give the new one a shot. And I do miss Tim Curry and Mark Hamill, but I mean, it improves on the original in a lot of ways.
Yeah, definitely. Like I'd say, gameplay experience is better.
Yeah, and also
voice acting is missed.
Yeah, I mean the voice actors still do a really good job, and also it's a lot easier to like find things because it's not as pixelated.
Yeah. Did you play any of the King's Quest games? I don't remember if you said you did or not.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
I didn't see the trailer. I saw like a screenshot, but yeah, I was really surprised by that.
It looks good, and they're the original Sierra people, the two creators of King's Quest. While they aren't making this game, they gave their blessing for this game, and they've seen the game, but they just put out the debut trailer. It looks good. It looks like I think they're doing the right thing by keeping it like they're doing cell shaded stuff and keeping it like a whimsical style, which fits in with the other games, rather than making it look realistic.
Yeah, I still have to watch that trailer.
They're aiming to keep like the important things of the franchise: humor, puzzles, goofiness, like that kind of stuff. So that's good. I like that you're doing it. You play anything else?
I think that was it.
Dude, Michaels, I've been wanting to talk to you a lot about what you're playing because you've had a Nintendo resurgence lately.
That's right.
Feels like you are after. I don't want to speak for you, but it feels like after your experience with Unity, you are
just gotta chill.
Coming back to realize the care and attention Nintendo puts into their games.
Yeah. I recently had some time on my hands, so I went up into the attic and pulled out my Nintendo Wii, which was my last console from Nintendo that I purchased. It had been up there for a few months, and I was like, I'll never play this again. But I pulled it down because for some reason I wanted a different type of experience. I played the heck out of Assassin's Creed Unity on the PS4, and all the bugs were just driving me nuts, and I felt like... And with all the like ads that pop up in game and like trying to get you to sign up for this and download this and do the app and play like hey kids, give us your money, Paris, yeah, I swear. Like it's just you get like you don't get a great feeling from the game.
Get a bad taste in your mouth.
Kind of. So I realized that I'd never finished Skyward Sword. I figured I'd give it another shot. When I pulled it down, I looked at my old save game, and it was from January of 2012. And I was thinking back, and I was like, that part of my life stunk in like real life. So I want to blame me not caring for that game on what was going on around me at the time. Really, though, there's no excuse because I had played the game for 22 hours, too, that first save. Like, it wasn't like I played it do Michael style for 5 minutes and said, screw it.
I think it makes perfect sense for you to say that you put a lot of time in it with it, but you were having a bad time in your personal life, and then those memories are tied to that game. I think that makes perfect sense.
I think that's what was happening. But, and I really didn't like I made it far. And just stopped because I wasn't into it, and said that it was the worst Zelda. And I probably said things like that. Who knows? But playing it again, like there's this crazy magic about the game in a lot of ways, like that I only seem to get from certain games, mostly Nintendo games, and just everything from the art style, which I wrote off as just like, oh, it's muddy. It looks like junk. It looks like a Nintendo 64 game. But like now I understand it, what they were going for. And the flying was something that I hated. I couldn't get the hang of it. And it's like so easy. Like I don't know something was blocking.
I think a lot
my
of people
brain
when they played it had an issue with controls because they were way too crazy or active with the controls. Like a lot of people when they're flying the bird are like up and like it's very minute movements.
I remember Mom Brain had that problem.
Yeah, then I figured out how it worked.
And I don't think one thing that was actually quite refreshing but also a little infuriating was that they don't really explain a lot. Like there's not a lot of tutorial in the game, which is good because sometimes that because literally in Unity they were like I'm at the last boss and it's still like hold down R. It's like come on, like I've been playing the game for like 3 weeks. I know how to do like this simple thing, but in the Zelda game there's not a lot of that, and that kind of at first was tough because I was thinking I was doing things wrong, but like it's really simple, like and it feels great, to be honest, after all this time playing it again. I'm a little bit further. I'm like one temple further than I was the first time I played.
Did you finish that temple?
I did.
How great is that boss fight?
It's great. It's great.
He was at the ancient cistern with the Galactos.
Yeah, really cool boss.
The guy with the million arms throws his blades and knocks down the towers, and you got to pick up his big sword.
When you pick up his big sword and start cutting stuff up, like that was the best.
That song and that boss fight, man, I love it.
Yeah, and I liked getting to it too because like it seemed like a really cool level, and then all of a sudden you go in the basement and there's these like zombies and you're like, wait a minute, what? And
you're climbing up the rope and they're like coming up behind.
It was great. It was great.
And I love the music in there, very like atmospheric and just like I don't know, it's hard to describe, but the music in that game.
Well, that's another thing I wanted to touch on is like they have this way of melding the music, and like it's not like Ubisoft saying like we have 10 teams all over the world working on, like I don't know how many teams they had working on this game, but like they melded together perfectly. Like and for instance, like when you're in the desert and you hit those stones to make you go into the past, and just the subtle changes in music, like the theme is the same, but the subtle change, it just adds so much. When you're in the marketplace and this theme is the same, but each section has its little thing, and like the characters don't speak, but they have so much character coming, like pouring out of them.
How great is Groose? I love Groose.
Groose is awesome. Like he's awesome, and he's got his own theme song, and like, but like all that stuff, and just like the zany characters, but you care about them. Like I was saying before, I was skipping cutscenes in Assassin's Creed Unity, and they had like full voice actor. Like it was just not compelling. This story in this game, as simple as it is, it's really like not only do I love the story and I want to know kind of where it's going, but it's cool to know that it's a prequel, and this is like kind of like you could see where all the other Zeldas were like based off of it, and like there's a lot of magic to this game. The catching bugs with the bug net, I love. I mean, it's so silly, but I love it. And now that I'm really getting into it, I'm gonna find it tough to go back and play, like I was saying, the Wind Waker, which is one of my favorite Zelda games, because without those motion controls, like swinging the whip versus like pointing up in Wind Waker to press A or whatever to do the grappling hook, like there's something that seems missing now. Like there's just an immersion to it, and you don't have to get crazy. Now there are some things that still do Michael's me out,
that's fun.
Like I'm sorry, but that harp, I like the idea. I cannot get that tempo, and I'm not like, I'm a music lover. I like to think I'm not like devoid of rhythm. Like I know what I'm doing, and I must have played the harp in that pumpkin bar with Kina for 45 minutes till they finally decided that I was good enough.
Well, did you watch that video I sent you?
I did. I had done it without the video, but then I watched the video, and the guy was doing the same thing I was doing for 45 minutes. So I really don't know what the problem was. Like that drives me nuts. So I'm thankful that they don't really make you use the harp that much, or at least right now they're not.
I don't think there's too much with it. You'll use it again.
Driving me nuts. So the harp was kind of driving me crazy, but other than that, like I feel pretty comfortable with the controls, and I like them a lot. And just like there's not too much so far to the items that you get, but there's a magic in how you can like rolling the bombs or the scatter shot on the slingshot is like a cool little feature.
They do a lot more. That was one of their main goals with the game, was to maybe not have as many items, but make sure the items have multiple uses and you use them a lot.
And I think that's great. And like as
with the beetle.
the beetle's awesome too. Like the first time I played through, I hated that beetle. I use it all the time. Like I'm using it everywhere, and like that's I think what they want you to do.
Yeah, they want you to use it to like scout out ahead if you're in like a
great.
dungeon or something. So you could be like, I can't reach over there yet, but I'll fly the beetle over and see what's going on, and maybe I could do something.
There's a lot that's really great, and like a lot that I'm appreciating more now the second time through is now that I can take a deep breath and really get into like some of the things that make this one unique. And to be honest, I almost don't want them to go back. Like I want to be flying like this bird around forever or whatever it's called.
Well, I mean, like I definitely want motion controls in the next one, and there may be some motion controls, but I don't think they're going to offer that control scheme they have in Skyward Sword, which makes me a little upset, just because I like it so much. Like, the first experience of fighting Giratina with motion controls is a learning experience, and I really liked that. It felt like a battle that I haven't had in any other game, and I don't know, I really loved the controls in that game, so it is hard going back to traditional controls. Like with A Link Between Worlds is different because it's on a portable, so like you expect you're not going to be using motion controls really. But on consoles, especially because Wii U can use Wiimote and Nunchuck together, I don't know, who knows, maybe they'll do something, but right now it looks like it's going to be gamepad. But they show map on the gamepad screen, so maybe you'll be able to set up the gamepad screen like you did in Pikmin and play with Wiimote and Nunchuck. I don't know, we'll have to see, but I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm upset that it's taken me this long to realize it, but to be honest, I kind of like it too, because now I'm enjoying to me what's a new Zelda. You know what I mean? Like
I really envy your position. I have to go through and play it again.
I also like how the overworlds are like a puzzle. They're almost like a dungeon in themselves, like with all the puzzles. At first, it was going to get to me. Like, I was like, wait, you mean there's only 3 places and I have to go back to them? But, like, when you go back, there's always new stuff to discover and things that you forgot that you saw before when you were like, oh, I'm going to need a grappling hook for that or whatever, like. So I'm really digging, like, how the environments kind of grow with your character a little bit. Like, there's always something new to discover and see.
Yeah, it's not like you're going back to the same areas and you're just like going into the same dungeon and there's new enemies or something like that. Like, new places open up that you've never seen before. So,
and I guess the only other thing besides the harp that kind of gets my goat, and this is not a big deal at all, is I don't like that you can't. I don't like that it has to load in Skyloft. I understand why you have to. But like, I'd love to just like drop anywhere. Like, and I hate that you have to jump off like the docks in Skyloft, where in any other island you could just jump, and it's not a problem.
The other guys come in and pick you up or catch you,
and it's embarrassing because they're like, and it's like I could beat you up. Like, look at the sword I got, and you're flying around.
Oh, you got
like
your longer sword now, right?
Yeah, I got a little bit of longer sword, so now I can go up to that awesome bamboo dude with the belly and that awesome music.
Oh, music! You were saying about the desert music. The Lanayru desert music is probably some of my favorite music in the game because, like you were saying, they have the subtle changes and everything when you hit the time stones and all that. And those subtle changes go from when you first start there to when you get to the mining facility. Like, the song all throughout retains the same themes, but they add in little things in each section. And then when you get to the mining facility, you have 2 like songs that are obviously connected, but very different depending on if you're hitting the time stone or not. So I like just the whole progression of that song, or the whole progression of that place, the whole Lanayru Desert in general. I really love that. Like, when I got there, I was just like looking at everything and taking in the music, and I don't know, it was a really cool experience. I like that whole place. But I'm excited. You got a good amount left to do, so you got some time.
Yeah,
with it.
I'm enjoying it. It's really great. I apologize for anything that I might have said way back when about it.
I'm 100% shocked and pleased that you have gone back to it and are enjoying it. I'm most happy for you that you are enjoying it, but I'm also happy because I love the game so much. So it makes me happy knowing you're enjoying it.
And there's not one character I don't like. I guess the only character missing besides Tingle would be Uku. It'd be nice to see a little Uku. I mean, it's a bird, for God's sake. We're in the sky.
I think I can't remember if there's like a picture or something of one somewhere. There's one part in that game that didn't tickle my fancy. It was just one section, maybe takes like 10 minutes. You haven't done it yet. I didn't hate it, but I could have done without it. Well, I want to see if you pick up on what it is. Don't say it. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Oh, okay, because it might be the part where I stopped playing too.
Did you finish it?
No, I stopped playing because there was an escort mission for Master Short Pants.
Oh no, that's not it. That's
Okay.
not it. It's I won't say anything. I don't want to ruin it.
I'll get there. I'm gonna keep playing it. I'm into it right now.
Yeah, it's one specific thing you have to do, and it's not that I don't like doing it. It's that it was a little frustrating just because of. I believe there's a time restriction, and I hate time restrictions.
Yeah, those get to me. Which is weird because you love Majora's Mask, and I don't care how many times you can go back into time. That game is very it just induces anxiety.
Well, you can. Well, I agree with that, but you can at least slow down time in that game, and this one, it literally is one section that takes maybe 10 minutes. And when I went into it, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this, and I got it done, and it was okay, but I was like, eh.
Well, I was nervous. I was nervous that I wouldn't like it's kind of like in Twilight Princess where you have to gather those little crystals or whatever. I was nervous when I saw that, but that actually wasn't too bad, and I kind of liked that little realm that we were into. I like that. It was pretty neat.
Plus, those big guys come after you, and they're kind of freaky.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great game so far. I'm enjoying it, and I saw Heat. I want to talk about it now. So thanks for listening, because I really
now's a good time to talk about it because everybody's talking about Zelda Wii U and the last console Zelda game we have with Skyward Sword. So, you playing anything else?
You know what I played? I played episode 1 of that Game of Thrones Telltale game on the iPad.
I heard it's good.
Holy cow, it's great. I mean, I played the Walking Dead ones, and they were terrific.
Yeah.
I played the first one. I didn't play the second one yet.
Episode or series?
Series. Oh, okay. I played the whole first series. I didn't play the second one yet, but I'm gonna.
Squeak's really into those.
But man, that Game of Thrones one is great. The only problem I have is that I started it too early. I wish I waited till all the episodes were out. Man, but
Telltale, I mean,
that's their
jam. That's the type of games that they do, and they do them really well.
It doesn't have to be crazy. It just has to have a great story. If I care about what's going to happen in the story, I can keep playing the game, to an extent. But
I know that has actors' likenesses in it. Does it have their voices too?
I read that it does.
There's only 4 characters from the show in this episode that I can remember, and all of them sounded exactly like the person. Okay. So I was guessing that it was them.
Is Peter Dinklage in there?
Yeah.
And is he good?
He's great.
Man.
Well, he's playing this character, he's playing a character. You know what I mean?
Just wonder what happened with Destiny.
He knows this character inside and out.
He's probably busy.
Plus, I feel again, I don't think he gives a crap about video games. But this isn't really. I mean, it's a video game, but it's not. It's more acting and a story than. Yeah.
So tied into
something he does.
It's a role that's pretty much made him a superstar.
Yeah. And he's been playing it for years now, whereas with Destiny, they probably gave him a script, and he's like, okay, what am I, a robot guy? All right, I'm a guy? All right.
Like Krusty.
Hey,
I'm talking Krusty.
Yeah, bada bing, bada boom, learn from a
Hey, that wizard came from the moon.
Well, for a guy that may not be into video games a lot, he's sure doing a lot of video game related things. I mean, he does a ton in Destiny. He does Game of Thrones.
You picking up that?
The next movie he's doing is that Adam Sandler movie all about video games.
Well, I mean, if you don't do an Adam Sandler movie, then you deserve to be in the poorhouse. Am I right? Good Lord, talk about a guy who can churn out poop and turn it into green.
Well, he openly admits that too. He's just these
Sandler
movies.
Does?
Yeah, he says these movies are paid vacations, basically.
Man,
he says,
smart dude.
We do a stupid movie. I bring all my friends with me, and we make money. And because they cost nothing to make, so they don't need a lot of people to see it. And then he comes back, and they're like, "Yep, you can make another movie because it costs $10 million to make, and it made $20 million. So why not?"
Well, I mean, more power to him, and I'm not complaining about that. But it's if you're doing it. I mean, it sounds like he's happy doing it, but why make a movie like Funny People where he practically plays himself with cancer and makes fun of the fact that he just does crappy movies? It's you know, like if you don't like it, then don't do it. You know, don't do a movie like Funny People and complain about it if you're gonna in the next breath be like, I'm into it because my friends and I get to goof off and make crap and make money.
Maybe it's just at this point he knows everybody. Like the jig is up. He knows everybody knows.
I got a jig for you. Happy Gilmore 2, Billy Madison 2. Boom, done. Everybody who liked you will like you again, and then cash out.
It would definitely bring an excitement back to him. You know, I might worry about the movie, but I would be interested to see what would happen with it.
Well, I'm the idiot who liked Dumb and Dumber 2, and nobody else liked it.
If you liked Dumb and Dumber 2, you liked it. That. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It had a couple moments that tickled me, but overall, I didn't really like the experience. And it really was like very much like the first movie as far as like how things play out. Like, you know, you've seen the movie many times. You go on a cross-country trip and blah, 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 whatever. But, you know, it's not the worst movie I've seen. It's just, I was hoping...
We don't have to... I didn't mean to open up this can of worms.
Oh, no,
it's not a good movie. Don't go see it. Wait till it gets on video. But I did
like
enjoy it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's all that matters. Like, what's this face said in the comments? As long as you enjoy it, as long as we're happy, that's all that matters. So that's all you played?
Yes, that's all I played.
I played Destiny this week with Lube. We got the new DLC, whatever it's called, the something below. How do we remember? And
the hang low below.
We played that, and you know they changed how some things work, and now you can get to a higher level, and basically stuff you spent time leveling up doesn't matter anymore, and you got to do it all over again with other stuff. So I mean, I have fun playing with Lube. But I feel like the update did a lot more harm than it did good.
Level 25.2.
You could go to level 30 before, now you can get to level 32.
That's all right.
But like now, stuff you spent hours and hours and weeks and months upgrading.
And weeks of shooting at caves.
To like level things up to their ultimate level. Now you can just go into the shop and buy something that will get you a higher level than that. So everybody's like, why did I spend all my time doing this? Like, why can't they, like, it doesn't make sense. You should be able to take what you have and they should allow you to expand on it and build it up higher to match those things. But instead, you have to buy something brand new and start over and rebuild all the tiers of it. So all that time you put into those other things doesn't matter, which is really frustrating to me. We played... Lube and I played more Minecraft on PS4, and holy moly, we are having a great time with that game. It's so good.
Have you started on the new Lovers?
Oh, yes, Lovers Paradise 2.0, or as Mom Brain called it, Butt F Paradise. We are having such a great time. So the game on Xbox 360, I know people are going to hear us talking about this and be like, they're playing on consoles. Yes, we're playing on consoles. So the Xbox 360 version had like...
Is that bad? I don't...
Oh, yeah, PC has like... infinite land, like forever. Xbox had like one square of a map, which seemed big to us when we were playing it. But this version has 25 squares, and we haven't finished exploring the one square we're in. So it's huge.
I mean, that sounds like a lot of work.
So well, it's not work because you do whatever you want.
But you don't, like, you have to... I've seen footage. You chop trees and you chop rocks like forever.
If that's what you want to do, because you can play creative mode and just have that stuff. But
what do you guys play?
This is
you guys don't play
we're
creative.
In peaceful mode, where enemies don't come, but you go out and get the stuff that you want to make whatever you want. So I'll tell you exactly what we did this last time, and it was so much fun. It's the best time I've had in Minecraft, and it's one of the best experiences I had in the game. It was amazing. So I go in, and Lube had been working on Lovers Paradise 2.0 a little bit on his own. And I went in to see what he was doing, and he's like, "Hey, follow the coast out of our base." And we built like a little like base on the side of a cliff just to like hang out because we need like chests to store our stuff in or whatever. So he said, "Go out of the base, follow the coast." He said, "I made a bridge. Go on the bridge," and he said, "Walk along the desert coastline." And he said, "You'll see a light in the middle of the ocean." And I said, "All right." So I'm walking. He's already at this location he's trying to get me to. So I'm walking and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, there's a light. There's just like one torch on a pedestal in the middle of a giant ocean. And I was like, all right, why? He's like, just go out there. So I swim out there and he goes, look down. And I looked down and there was like a little glimmer of light under the water, like a little beam of light. So I swim down and I come, like the water ends and I'm in like an underwater like cavern. And he said he was doing something somewhere else, and it was nighttime, and he noticed a light under the ocean. So he swam down and he found this place. It was like, so the game is randomly generates the whole land. So everything's already there. It's just you explore and find it. And he found like this old like mine system that like other people, not real people, other computer people had like built, and were like going in there to mine like gold and diamonds and stuff, and it had like flooded and collapsed part of it. And he found this whole place. So we're in there like exploring this big thing, and there's like, you know, like wood structures to keep the place from falling apart, and there's like stuff they left behind. So he was like, this probably connects to like a much bigger thing.
But it wasn't real. Like, it's all randomly generated stuff.
Yeah, but it's done already. So it's randomly generated from the start of the game. So this is our game world. So that will always be there, and everything's always there now.
But no one else is going to have the same experience or same land as you.
No, they may find an abandoned mine, but it's not going to be like this. Everybody's different. So it had 2 sections of it, and one looked like where they were going to dig next before it collapsed, and the next one was just like an empty wall. And it's like, all right, I'll go one, you go on the other, and we'll dig and we'll see what happens. So like we're digging, and I'm digging in like pitch black. I can't see anything. I can just see like there's wall ahead of me. So I'm digging and I'm digging and I'm digging. My pickaxes, and they break after a while. So I go through all of them, and I have like one left before I have to go make more. And my last hit, I break through into this like giant room, and it's got like huge wooden structures and like mine cart tracks, and like it was another part of the mine that these guys were working in apparently. And I went in and I found like
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Well,
like,
imagine
these guys.
So in the game there are civilizations,
NPCs.
Yes,
and they have their own. They are actually doing stuff. Like you can come across them,
you can come across,
or they're
them,
long
yes.
gone, and this is just like what they left.
That too. Like he's found temples from civilizations that are long gone, but these are like up to date.
But it's not real people making these things.
Not in our mode. No, you could go visit other people's real life places. Yeah. So I came to this huge room. Like filled with like spider webs and stuff. It was obvious that people hadn't been there in a long time. And I found like treasure chests with like pickaxes and food and diamonds and gold and all this kinds of stuff that you use to build other things. And I had dug in the dark in so many different directions for such a long time that I couldn't find my way back. So Lube was off digging his own thing, but we're talking to each other. And he's like, I don't know. I think I was going in the same direction you were. And then eventually I see like his little health bar, like way, way, way far away. And I was like, all right, I'm going to start coming towards you. And we meet up with each other, and we find another room full of stuff. So we're exploring this whole big thing. We have to find our way back out. So we have to dig up, and the ocean's above us. So like we're both just digging to try and find a way out. I hit a brick and the water comes rushing in. I'm like, oh, crap, because I'm going to flood this whole place. I swim out into the ocean. I come up on land, or I come up in the water. I'm like, I have no idea where I am. So I build a tower in the water and put a little torch on it to mark like another entrance, and we fix it so that it doesn't flood the place. So we're going to explore somewhere else after we did all this. And I break into this room that has a huge chasm filled with like lava and everything. And it was like really narrow, but it had gold along like all the walls. And I was like, oh my God, this is a jackpot. And I said, Lube, you have to come here and see this. So Lube walks over. I'm standing here. Lube's standing here. I was like, Lube, be careful. Look over the edge. And he goes to look over the edge. Falls into the lava pool. And he had like half a heart left, but he didn't die, and he had to dig his way back up because there was nothing there. We didn't have anything there, and he managed to get his way out. And then he was spending time there digging up stuff. And
what happens if you die? Like,
if you die, you'll lose everything your character's carrying, but you have one chance to go back to that character and get it back. But if you die and you're in lava or around lava, the lava can take the other stuff and destroy it, basically. So if you drop stuff in lava, you don't get it back.
And plus, would it start him like way far away from you, or it just starts you near where you were?
Well, if you make a bed in the game and you sleep once in the bed, you'll always start at the bed. So we have a bed back at our house, so that's where he started and made his way back. So he climbed his way out, and he was when water touches lava, it makes obsidian, and obsidian is used to make a portal to go to this completely different world. So he spent, I don't know, like an hour collecting obsidian because he was down in this pit anyway. So he's like, I'll do it while I'm here. And on his way back, he was digging his way out and hit a brick, and more lava poured in. It killed him, and he lost everything he did.
Oh, God.
But later, he said, "All right, that's it." He's like, "I gotta go to bed. I'm frustrated now." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." So we went to bed, and he said like an hour later, because he had to stay up for work anyway. He went in and did it again and recollected everything. So, but it's just amazing to explore and not have any idea what's coming up next, because anything could be there. You could find a temple underground. You could find, I don't know, nothing. Could be dirt. Could be gold and diamonds like we found. It was amazing.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, so I'm not going to say anything negative, but it just, I don't
here's the other
understand
thing.
Minecraft.
Like, you can literally go in and you never have to dig anything. You could just walk around and explore and look at whatever you want to. You don't have to craft anything.
That's the thing I wouldn't like doing, because to me, you know what a graphics whore I am. Like, it looks like junk to me. It looks like blocks. Like, I don't understand.
Well, it is blocky, obviously, but like, especially on the new systems, I think it looks amazing. Like, because just the size and scope of everything is insane. Like how big the mountains are and how huge this chasm was. Like it's just such a huge space, and you can go to anywhere in it. Like, to see that stuff, I thought the original game looked fine. I was okay with it, but like the landscapes in this one make it so much more expansive and just interesting to me. Well, once Lube is around, we'll have to show you like where we are, and you can check it out.
I'll have to take a look, because there's like, I've never heard anyone, you know, who's played it ever say a bad thing about it.
Well, like when it's me, Lube, and Chip, when we were playing on the 360 one, like we would play for hours and just I don't know, just the fact that like other people are in there with you while you're doing all this stuff, and then like he was saying, like, I'm doing my own thing, Lube's doing his own thing, Chip's doing his own thing, and then a couple hours later, you go and check out what somebody's doing. Lube's built like a massive statue of himself or something, and Chip's built a pyramid somewhere. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. It's really cool. And now that the land is so much bigger in this one, there's tons to explore. And it's not like, you know, everything's grass. It has like all different biomes, I think they're called. So there's like grass, there's snow, there's desert, there's mushroom stuff, there's
but there's no
mountains.
like, there's no like winning. There's no beginning or end. It's just,
there is no beginning or end. That's true. You just do whatever you want for whatever reasons you have, and you collect materials to make better stuff. So like you can have like a stone pickaxe and then make a gold pickaxe or a
well, I feel like you have
silver
to be,
pickaxe.
I feel like you have to have a little bit of creativity inside of you too, and that's something that I don't really have.
Well, see, I don't think I have too much creativity either, which is why I love exploring. I make the stuffs to explore and collect stuff. And then, you know, every once in a while I'll be hit with something I want to make. Like I made an infinity pool all out of glass on the side of the mountain, and like dug it out over the side of the mountain, and it's looking like right where the sun comes up. It's looking out over there, so we can go hang out there. Like I don't do too much creation stuff. Lube does a lot of creation stuff, but I love the exploring part. And the last time we played, all we did was explore. We never built anything. We were just exploring everything. So yeah, I've been playing that. It's super.
Wow, that was scary.
Alexa, stop. I don't know what she thought I said.
Wow,
well, we've ran way too late, and I thought we were going to be early because of not having music. So I think that's all I played Zod Drifter, which you should play because it's out. So that's all I got for you. So thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for joining us on a special Friday show, and next week we should be back to normal. But I guess that's about it. So
quick rumor of the week,
please,
except this one's
right
true. Do Michaels likes Nintendo again? And that one actually is
rumor.
true. Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. We are not doing music.
We don't have any music. Can I? Are we done?
We're still live, but we are done.
May I? Do you mind if I pull that white hair out of the side of your beard?
No, go right ahead.
Are you sure? Because some people don't like this, but I am.
I don't mind one bit.
No one's mentioned
People
your
don't like
beard.
when you flip their beard.
Ooh, that's the one. Look at that thing.
Let me see that.
Yeah, it's just driving me
I was
crazy.
pulling out a lot. Well, look, here's a white one right here. I was pulling out a lot of white ones the other day.
Yeah, I'm a big white puller.
On my way out.
See, your beard's a good color. It's keeping its color.
Yeah,
Mine,
so
when it
far.
comes in, it's getting real white.
Hey, touch of gray. You know what they say in the commercials?
No play for Mr. Gray.
No
Beard
play
had to
for Mr.
start
Gray,
somewhere.
but touch of gray.
Oh,
Looks so natural, no one can tell. All right, guys.
Your Undertaker knows.
Are you using touch of gray?
I am not. No. When I go all gray, I'm in it to win it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening.
Does that mean you are using touch of gray?
No, I want the gray. I want natural gray.
Okay.
We will see you
So
next week.
When it means all gray.
That's right.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.